All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Welcome to the first of my virtual Easter series. For those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Erin O'Brien. I am Thermomix consultant and team leader based in Druin in Victoria. But thanks to this wonderful virtual world, I'm supporting my customers all over Australia. So I'd love to know, pop in the chat box and let me know where you're watching from tonight. And obviously, this is open to everybody, so not just my customers. So I love seeing where you guys are all watching from. And I love bringing you these virtuals. So my aim, bringing you these nearly every week, depending what's going on with life, is to help you guys fall in love with the Thermomix even more. I really am very passionate about making sure that you get the most out of your investment. And so hopefully I can teach you some new tips and tricks, give you some new ideas and inspiration. And in particular for tonight, I'm going to be showing you some Easter gifts you can make with your Thermomix. So obviously you can just enjoy them as treats yourself around Easter time. But these recipes that I'm sharing with you tonight are perfect for gifting. I don't know about you guys, but I have found or noticed the price of Easter chocolate gone through the roof this year. So I think it's a really great opportunity to use your Thermomix to make some really delicious gifts that are just a bit out of the ordinary, but super tasty and actually work out to be far cheaper than the store-bought chocolates. So we are going. Oh, sorry. Coming up on mine. Thank you for that. Thanks, Clint. Is that better? Let me know if it's not. It was coming up on mine. I could see myself, just not you guys. That's not very helpful, is it? So yes, hopefully, thank you. Yeah, hopefully I'll give you some new ideas and some inspiration so that, yeah, you can get the most out of Thermomix and have some new delicious things to share this Easter. So we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to turn my camera just a smidge so I can see you. And we're going to start off with a caramel fudge that we're going to turn the Eastery. So this one is called Chloe's Caramel Fudge on Cookie Dough. So I've got a bit ahead of myself there. I have already, hopefully you can see there, got it planned into my week using the meal planning function of Cookie Dough. So I am just going to click onto that there. Like normal, we can have a scroll down. I always like to check the hints and tips if I have it before I start it, just to make sure that there isn't anything else I want to add in there. This one actually says you can make your own condensed milk using a cookie dough recipe, which we are going to do tonight as well. So let's get straight into it. Oops, I went out of it. So we're just going to hit start cooking. So that obviously cookie dough and our guided cooking is going to step us through every little step of the recipe. So to start with, it's telling us to line our baking tray and set it aside. And then it's telling us to pop 200 grams of white chocolate chips in there. Guys making fudge and things at the moment with your Thermomix? That often let me know. I feel like fudge is it's usually either Easter or Christmas by the times that I'm making it in our house. It's such a treat. And I'm going to chop those up. So this is going to be really noisy. It'll mute me out for a few seconds here. 5 seconds on speed 7. All right, so we've just grated that up. So when we melt it through the fudge afterwards, it'll just melt here and easier. So you can see that's just turned it into a really fine right there. So now it's just telling us to transfer that into a bowl and set aside. So I've got one here that I'm just going to pop that in. And there's a little bit left in there, but you don't need to worry. It'll just pour in first actually, but it's obviously going to end up in a recipe, so it works fine with leaving it in. You don't need to wash the bowl. So if I was to go to next now, it tells us to place in there 395 grams of condensed milk to start with. So we're actually going to make that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back arrow twice to go back to our home page. And if I go into my week, I've already popped the condensed milk in there as well. So I'm just going to scroll down. You guys made your own condensed milk before? I'll put in the chat box and let me know I feel like especially at Christmas time again, condensed milk is something that I used to buy all the time. And then I came across a recipe for it and realized how incredibly easy it was to make. So it's one of those things that I'll never buy again. And hopefully after tonight, if you guys are buying, it's something that you won't buy again either. So we're going to pop in there 40 grams of unsalted butter. And then it's just automatically ticking that off for us. 125 grams of water. So I'm just going to hit next, and we're going to melt that or heat that up. So 3 minutes, 120 degrees on speed 2. So let me know, pop it in the chat box. Is this something, condensed milk, have you made it before? Is it something that you buy often? I know it's not the most expensive ingredient to buy, but it's still an expense. It's a few dollars per little can of it. And as you can see, it's just butter, water, sugar, and milk powder. So really, really easy to make. And once you've got those ingredients, especially like things like the milk powder, if you're not already using it for yogurt, which you then would have it in the pantry, obviously. But if once you buy it, you've got it for quite a long time. So yeah, it works out super, super cheap to make. All right, while that's heating up, I might come over to my other Thermomix. Tilt you back a little bit again. Oh, and into this one. Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? I remember as a kid licking the condensed milk jar, a little tin out. So now we're going to make a carrot cake, but not a full carrot cake. We're going to make it into some mini cakes and some mini loaves as well. So a really cute little gift for somebody who might not like chocolate, or you just want to do something other than chocolate or those super sweet things. So again, I have popped the carrot cake recipe into my week. And you might be able to see there that it's saying it's on step 3 already. So I'm just going to cross that off because that's just from me starting it earlier. And then I'm going to restart it. So I've got the oven already preheating to 180 and I've got my tins prepped. So into there now we are going to place 300 grams of carrot. So just roughly chopped. I knew I was going to do this, and that's why I only chopped to 200, because what I actually want to do is decrease the quantity of this recipe. So I'm going to stop it again by using that cross mark, and hopefully you can see, otherwise I'm going to make it a little bit closer. So we have the ability to scale this recipe. So you see when we come down from our main screen there, you've got the serving sizes. So it's automatically set to 12, this recipe. You can increase it to 16 or you can decrease it to 8. So I knew I'd forget to show you this bit. So we're just going to hit 8. So we're going to cancel it first. Hit 8. It'll automatically change all of those ingredients over for us, and then we'll hit start again. So we've done that one, we've done that one, and now you'll see that there's 200 grams of carrot and not 300. So I'll tick that off because I know it's already in there. And then we're going to pop into eggs. Do you guys love those of you, I didn't ask actually at the start, who has a TM7? I think most of you guys on do, don't you? Or a TM6. So do you love the recipe scaling feature? Is it something that you use often? Let me know. All right, so we're going to pop those 2 eggs in there. That's it. And then the recipe calls for 230 grams of brown sugar. I just find generally most cookie dough recipes super sweet. So I will just cut it back just a little bit. But that's just personal preference, And then we're going to put in 35 grams. I'm going to tick that off because it won't automatically tick off, obviously, because I have done a little bit less. 35 grams of sour cream. Do you guys love a carrot cake? In the chat box and let me know. obviously super easy with your Thermomix to be able to just combine it all and chop it up. There's no standing there grating the carrots, and 110 grams of sunflower oil. Next, and then we're going to combine all that up. So we've got 15 seconds on speed 5. That has a bit of cooking time, so I obviously want to keep that going as we're going. So that 3 minutes for our condensed milk. I've got that all melted down. Let's see, that to be that out. And then to make sure these scales are tagged. So this calls for raw sugar. I actually used to, when I was making my one I prepared earlier, I finished off our raw sugar. So I'm just going to use white sugar, which is okay. The colour, the taste will be a little bit different. It won't be as kind of caramelly, but it will still work beautifully. And then we are doing 110 grams of milk powder. Put that all there. And a pinch of salt. Has anyone thought much about Easter yet? All right, so now we're going to blend that up on 30 seconds on speed 10. I think my cap is in the dishwasher, so I'll steal that one for a minute. Zoom will mute me out for this as well. So obviously at speed 10, it's really whizzing it up. They're quite noisy. So I will talk to you in about 30 seconds. All right, so that's our condensed milk done. So obviously if you're making this any other time, you'll just pop it in a sterilised jar and pop it in the fridge. And it will, like it thickens up more as it cools, because obviously that's quite hot now, but it thickens into that perfect condensed milk texture. So now I'm just going to go back out of that recipe to my fudge. I'm just going to use the back button again, twice. That takes us back to my week. And I'll just find the fudge recipe. And then it has kept up to where we left off. So you can see there it says step 5 out of 12. So I'm just going to tick that, and it will take us exactly where we were. So now it makes that kind of, this condensed milk recipe makes about a tin's worth. So about that 395 grams that would be in a tin of condensed milk. So I'm just going to tick that off. And into there now, we're going to place 125 grams of butter. And then 2 tablespoons of ice syrup. Has anyone made a fudge before, or do you have a favourite fudge recipe? There are quite a few different ones on Cookie Do or just online in general. Stickiness there, so we're good to continue. I'm going to tick that off, and then we're going to pop in some more brown sugar into this one. So obviously, tonight's virtually all of that helps. We might have to, after Easter, go back to some healthier recipes. Lots of sugar, lots of chocolate tonight, but all that. So. So next again, and now we're going to cook that. So that's just going to cook away, hands free. Obviously, we'll be continuing on with our other recipes for 8 minutes, 100 degrees at speed 3. So I'm just going to pop that on. I'm going to move it to the side a little bit using that glider foot on the TN7. I'm just going to move that off to the side. I don't have too much room. PowerPoint, but looks okay. Then we'll go back to our carrot cake. All right, so see there that last step, that 15 seconds on speed 5, not only did it shuffle that carrot up, but combined all of those other ingredients as well. So we're just going to go to next. I am going to give it just a little scrape down before I continue, just because lots of those little carrot pieces are up and around the top after that whizzing. And into there now we are going to put 170 grams of wholemeal flour. It's much easier to see the scales on this side. Half a teaspoon of bicarb. A quarter of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. So you can see I'm just continuing on. I'm not ticking them off just because these ones are only teaspoon measurements. You obviously don't need the scales. And if I'm confident with where I'm up to, I can just either tick off or just keep going. Yeah, it's so good, isn't it, Rachel? And super, super easy. Obviously, it just takes that little bit of time, but yeah, really easy to make. And then half a teaspoon of salt. And it's popular as a gift. If anyone will know if they've gifted it, everybody always loves the fudge. All right, now we're going to combine that for 10 seconds on speed 5. No, it's just prompting us just to give it a little scrape down. Again, just washing any of those ingredients that have flicked up towards the top, back down towards the main cake batter. And then we're just going to give it one more quick mix. 5 seconds, speed 5. And that's it. That's our carrot cake batter done. So like I said, it's a super, super quick and easy one, that one. There are quite a few different cookie dough carrot cakes. I'll choose this one in particular tonight because it's a nut-free version. There are a couple of other ones that include walnuts and different things. But yeah, obviously, it just depends on what you are after. So for this, like I said, this recipe itself is a full carrot cake, and the cook time reflects that. It tells us to cook it for 45 minutes. But tonight, I'm doing it in these ones are the rose gold mini cake tins from the mix shop, and the mini loaf tray from the mix shop as well. So you'll see afterwards. I just think that they're really sweet little gifts. But I should have shown you first, no. That is the batter all done there. I'm just going to pop them in there. You can do 4 of the little cakes if you wanted to. I just want to show you a couple of different options. So that's why I pulled out the mini loaf tray as well. See that there, all right. So again, I picked the 8 serving recipe of this one. Obviously, if you went bigger, you can go right up to that 16 and make quite a bit more. if you're gifting it to a few people. Isn't so much carrot cake we need. So I have found when I've been making them that about 15 minutes for the mini loaf tray ones is perfect, and then about half an hour for this little mini spring form cakes. Obviously, it depends on how much you fill them up. But I'm going to pop those in the oven and we'll continue on. Set timer because I'll be sure to forget. And I'm just going to give my jug a really quick little clean before we continue on. So that means I should please put something in that glass. Has anyone planned any Easter gifts yet? We're just starting to think about it. Have you got any other ideas that you want to make? Very excited actually. We are at the moment as consultants, we've just been given the opportunity to earn our second bowls. So watch this space. Hopefully in the very near future, my virtuals will be even easier because I'll just be able to quickly switch bowls. One of the perks of being a consultant, we're very spoilt with lots of incredible incentives. If there's ever anything that you would like more information on, please let me know. If you like your Thermomix and love sharing it with everyone and telling the world, then great opportunity. All right. My goodness there, so I'm just going to give that a quick one. And we will continue on. So next, we are going to make a chocolate brownie. It's not Easter without chocolate, obviously. And this brownie is one of my all-time, hands-down favourites. For a very long time, this recipe was on the recipe community, and I had it imported, obviously using Cookie Dough. But recently, it's come onto Cookie Dough as part of a recipe community collection. So it's even quicker and easier than ever. So it is called the Chewy Chocolate Brownies. We're going to obviously put a bit of an Easter spin on it, but we'll get started with it straight away. So obviously those first couple of steps are the same. Preheat your oven, grease your tray, get everything ready. And into there now we're going to put 125 grams of butter. And then we're going to melt that. 2 minutes, 70 degrees on speed 2. All right, so while that's melting away, you would have just heard this Thermomix ding away at me. So that 8-minute cook time is finished, starting to smell incredible. Without tipping it out, you can see it thickening up. Looking beautiful and caramelly there. So now it's just prompting us to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl, and then we're going to pop it on to cook again. Lovely, beautiful, silky texture. So yes, that's fine. So we're going to hit next again, and now we're going to pop that on to cook again. 20 minutes, 120 degrees on speed 3. Perfect. We'll move her out of the way again. In there. So we were all very excited, us consultants this week, to find out about the second bowl offer. I don't know about you guys that have had that now have your TM7, but everybody, the second bowl is obviously one of our most popular accessories. So I'm sure it'll be very popular when it comes out for you guys to purchase as well. Is that done? So we're going to put it off there. Butter. All melted perfectly in there for us. And now into the bowl, we're going to put 40 grams of cocoa. I feel like I get enough spoons out and then all of a sudden, there you go again. Taking that off, half a teaspoon of vanilla. Two eggs. And 150 grams of self-raising flour. This brownie is usually my night shift treat. I'm a nurse as well, and work an occasional night shift, and love making this one as a little treat for us all to enjoy in the middle of the night. All right, so we'll pop the lid back on and combine that for 30 seconds on speed 4. Hit next again, and into there now we're going to pop brown sugar. It's the ingredient of the night, isn't it? Extra white. And we're going to hit next, and we're going to combine that. So 10 seconds on speed 4 this time. It's just telling us, I'll show that texture there. Beautiful kind of gooey brownie texture. It's asking us to scrape down the sides. Next again, and we're just going to give it a further next 5 seconds on speed 3. Final step is to add in just 100 to 200 grams of milk chocolate chips. So normally I do a combination of white and chocolate. Tonight I'm doing some little Easter eggs. So I'm just using, these ones are, well, I'm not sure if you can see, they're little caramel eggs that I've cut up just to give it that kind of nice little caramel consistency. So I'm just going to throw them in there. If you like, obviously, like we were saying, Easter eggs are a bit more expensive this year. So if you don't have some extra sitting around that you want to throw in. You can obviously just use chocolate chips and then maybe decorate on the top with some Easter eggs. But I thought that would be fun and tasty to have that little bit of caramel through it as well. So then we are going to combine that 30 seconds, speed 2, and it's automatically selected that reverse for us this time. So obviously making sure that we're mixing through those chocolate chips, or in this case, eggs, without kind of blitzing them up and chopping them up further. Those of you who are new to a TM7 or don't have one yet, you will also notice, you probably can't see on your screen, but the padlock is unlocked at the moment because we're below speed 2. So if I wanted to, I could just lift off the lid and have a little check of it, perhaps adding some more chocolate chips if I wanted to give it a scrape down, and it will, automatically stop the second I take the lid off and then recommence when I put it back on. Above speed 2, you'll notice that the padlock then locks. So obviously then you can't just take off the lid. So that's our brownie mixture done there. Tray. Pop that straight into there. An extra little thing that I'm going to do with the brownie afterwards. Don't worry, I'm not going to make it stay all night. I have got a bun prepared that we'll be using. So I'm just going to smooth that out. And then, like I said before, I am going to put with some more Easter eggs. So that's our brownie so far. And then just going to, these are just plain mini eggs. Just to pop on the top. You can, they do melt obviously a bit more when you're putting them on straight away. So sometimes I do put them on just in the last kind of 5 minutes of cooking time. Obviously just for the example's sake now. So then the brownie goes in the oven. For this recipe, it says 20 to 25 minutes. I always find that my brownie needs a bit longer. I like a bit of a gooey brownie, but I find that it's just that bit too gooey if I take it out at that time. So I find around 40 minutes usually for my brownie. So I'm going to pop that one in the oven. I'm going to give my bowl a really quick rinse again, and then we'll keep continuing. I'm just going to, before I do that, just plug. Yeah, because I did notice that the low battery came up before. Lose your halfway. For this next recipe, we're going to make just a really simple rocky roast. Just to kind of flavour. Very loose description. I think you can put whatever you want to it. It's a no made one this afternoon. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I'm going to use up some nuts and chocolate for that. So the one thing you just really need to be careful of when you are melting chocolate is that your bowl is clean. The moisture in it will cause your chocolate to seize up. Beautifully melted chocolate. So Obviously, for this saying that, I will take a bit of extra time to make sure that my bowl is dry. Perfect. My little loaves, parapet loaves are finished. Except for we'll leave the mini cakes in for a bit longer. So I'm just going to put another 10 minutes on them for now. And then I'll take them out and test them. I'm just going to use some paper towel just to make sure that my bowl is nice and dry. And this time I'll actually take the blade apart to make sure that I can get underneath it all. All right. So now we are going to melt our chocolate. Out of our recipe to our home screen, and I'm going to open up the manual mode. So it's a couple of things that I'm going to do with this melted chocolate as well as the rocky road. So I'm just going to throw it all in for now. You can grate it up a bit like we did before, and it will melt a bit quicker. So we'll do that quickly first. I'm just going to grate it on speed 6 for a few seconds. You don't need to set a timer if you are not heating. So I just set speed 6 in. I did it for a few seconds. Still a couple of little chunky bits, but that's perfect for melting now. And because we are going to use a temperature, we do need to set a time now. So I'm going to set it for, let's start with 3.5 minutes and 50 degrees to melt our chocolate. And then just turning it down to speed 2. So much quicker and easier than melting it in the microwave or even over the stovetop. Don't have to stand there stirring it or checking it. Try not to burn it, making sure it doesn't seize up all those things. You can just pop it in and start doing your other things. So here is my Rocky Road mix. So I have just broken up some like Marie biscuits and chopped up some marshmallows. We've got some of the mini speckled eggs in there. These little ones. And we've got, what else have we got? Some crunchy, little mini crunchy eggs. Literally, you can just throw whatever you want in there that's Eastery, if you like. Yeah, no hard and fast rules. Throw it all in, melt your chocolate, and everyone is going to love your Rocky Road. So we'll get that melting. The other thing I'm going to do with my Rocky Road, I'm going to just do it, you know, as a bit of a loaf kind of thing that I can cut up and give to people. But the other thing I have done is made some little half eggs that I'm also going to use for my Rocky Road, and some little brownie eggs too, because I saw this online. I thought would be amazing. So this one is just an egg mold. I think this one's actually just from Kmart, and I have just lined that with some chocolate today and set that, and then I'm going to top that with some Rocky Road. So you might see sometimes when you're out of the shop, especially chocolate shops and different places, you know, you can get the kind of, I don't know what you even call them, filled gourmet, I don't know, loaded eggs. So that's what we're going to make here for something a little bit different as well. So you can absolutely just buy a big egg or a bigger egg and cut it in half and do it that way. Just use a little muffin tray or something to sit your egg in. But again, much cheaper just to whiz up and melt some chocolate. When I was looking earlier, it was way less than half the price for the chocolate chips, Cadbury chocolate chips, compared to even just the basic hollow Cadbury eggs. So definitely works out much cheaper to make your own if you've got that couple of minutes to do it. All right. The other thing I'm going to do, so I'll show you. So we're going to make 2 different types of filled eggs. We're going to use our Rocky Road for one, and then we're going to use some brownies. So the brownie I prepared earlier. So I've got the egg half there that we can use, cut up, pop in little tray or bags and gift to people. And then I'm going to use the other half for these eggs. So it just makes me myself enough room tonight. All that's melting away. We prepared earlier. Into really little pieces, just the same bit of the eggs. See, I don't know if you can see there, in the middle of the brownie. So we're nearly there. I'm just going to give that a scrape down. You can just see the bits on the side and the blade still. I haven't quite melted. I'll just give that a bit of a scrape and then we'll put it on for just another minute. And that will be the trick for a melted chocolate. Just set it 1 minute. Oops. 50 degrees. We've got the quick set buttons down the bottom we can use. And on speed 2. So our little eggs there. I'm just going to chop up and pop in some brownie pieces. Obviously, you can make them as big or small as you wanted. I'm going to do half with brownie and then I'm going to put some Rocky Road in the other half. That's what we're waiting. To gift that as well. How good is that brownie? It does smell yum. My husband is leaving tonight. This is definitely virtual. He's not disappearing from going to bed early, I tell you. All right. So that is our chocolate. I do find when I'm working with chocolate, melting chocolate in the Thermomix as well, you can also come back to it and add a bit more time. So if you're working with half of it and you haven't finished and then it starts to kind of cool down and not be as easy to work with, you can absolutely add a bit more time and it will work beautifully as well. It's kind of melted that to a great consistency to use. So we're just going to mix that in. I've got what's in there already now. I'm going to combine that all up. And then pop that in there. And then we're just going to add that into the eggs. And then anything extra, I put in a little loaf tray, not a mini loaf tray, but just a normal kind of, sorry, losing my words tonight. Just a normal loaf tray, unless I'm making a big rocky road, like a big amount of chocolate and a big amount of fillings. I just find that if I put it in a bigger tray, it's too thin and doesn't really have a nice kind of chunky rocky road feel to it. So obviously I don't have much left this time. Getting it out of camera, but I just pop it in a tray. And set that aside to cool. So you can pop it in the fridge, leave it on the bench, obviously whatever works for you, depends on when you want to use it. And then what I'm going to do for that leftover little bit of chocolate that I'm going to put on the brownie is put it in a piping bag. I just find it's so much easier to kind of get all over the brownie pieces or the egg, like quickly piping it on rather than trying to slop it all over it. So for the rest of the cakes, everything's done. Well, with our timing tonight. So 2 seconds, I'll just these cakes. Yeah, so hot tip when you want to drizzle your chocolate over, use a piping bag. You can even obviously just use like a Ziploc bag and just cut the tip off a corner. But it does make it so much easier for you. All right, so that is our grated eggs done. So I would just have to let them cool at the chocolate set before I pull them out of this mold. So sorry, but it was just a little bit too much sweets to have some of these prepared ready to show you. But I'll pop them in the fridge tonight and I'll pop them up on my social media tomorrow so you can see them. There's only so much I could pre-prepare, otherwise we were going to be a sweet coma, I think. All right, now just to finish up, I'm going to make a really quick cream cheese frosting for our carrot cake. And then we'll kind of show you everything finished and we're all done. So I'm just going to mix that chocolate bowl once again. So I don't know about you guys, but I think you can't have carrot cake without cream cheese frosting, can you? I don't think that's allowed. And obviously, if we're gifting it, we need to add that little bit of extra touch on the top. So we're just going to go out of our manual mode back to our home screen again. Into my week once more. And we're going to pull up the cream cheese frosting. So we're going to hit start. And all we're doing is some unsalted butter, so 100 grams of that. Taking that off, 250 grams of cream cheese. And the spoons again. And then just some icing sugar. Icing sugar in front of me. And then just 300 grams of icing sugar. It'll all fall out, come out too quickly on me. Okay. So we're going to hit next, and we're just going to combine that 30 seconds speed. Oh. Next thing, I'll come back and finish this smudge. So we're going to hit next on that. And today now we're just going to put the rest of those chocolate chips that we whizzed out at the start. So popping them in, and then we're going to mix that. 10 seconds, speed 4, but we can add a bit more time if we find that it's not really well combined. One thing I forgot was to get out extra trays. So I'm just going to check that it's all combined. There is a little bit around the edges, but we'll mix with my spatula to do the trick on that. So that is our caramel fudge. That come out there, I'm not quite. So pop that in a tray, and we're going to top that with some Easter eggs as well. So you do just want to move, and not super fast, but it will start to set if you leave it in the bowl for too long. So you do want to just make sure you get into your tray before it starts to cool down and starts to set. And then when you pop it in, top it if you are popping, some extra decorations for Easter or whenever you're making it. And then put it in the fridge for the night. All right. So for this one, I have. So you obviously can top with whatever you want. Put a little bunny I'm going to pop on the top of this one. Some little caramel eggs. So I'm going to do that on half. And then on the other half, I am going to put some of those beautiful little speckled eggs. I love these for my Easter baking. And again, you just want to make sure you're moving not super fast, but quick enough before it sets too much. And set. Then pop that one in the fridge overnight to set. And these go well. Another really cute little gift idea really up to Easter. I'm just going to, as we finish it, I'm going to turn this one off and move it out of the way so I've got a bit more space. Now I finish with that. We'll just finish our cream cheese icing and then we're all done. So that is the icing done. And then you can just pop it into one of those piping bags as well. Too much stuff everywhere. And obviously you can put a nice little piping nozzle on the end if you want to as well. Otherwise, I'm just going to pop that in there. Put it in for now. Here's a couple I prepared earlier. So this is how your cute little those mini, lost my words now, mini springform tin ones and your mini loaves turn out. So we're just going to pipe a little bit of that cheese icing on there. Now, how you decorate them obviously can depend on what you want on them as well. Like again, I'm making these ones nut free. Otherwise, I would put like some walnuts on the top. So you don't really, as nice as a cute little piping tip is, you don't need it. Get away without it. So for these instead, because I don't want to use nuts, but I do want them pretty, I've got some little dried flowers that I'm going to put on them. So I'm just going to put them just in a bit of a line on the edge. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. But tell me, is that not the cutest little gift for somebody that perhaps doesn't like chocolate? Or if you want something that's not that standard usual sweet. Aren't they gorgeous? So I've got a couple of little options for then serving them. Or serving them, I shouldn't say serving, it's not the right word in this case, is it? But I did find these little boxes at our local cake shop that I think are perfect. I just take that little hold it out. But look at that, isn't that the cutest little gift? I've got some cute little Easter ribbon I can pop around that. And then I've got a little box I can pop a couple of the mini loaves in as well. So you could do a combination even. Right, I think they're, yeah, a really great, really nice little gift for something a little bit different to the usual chocolate and that kind of thing. So that is our carrot cake. What else have we got? I've got too much stuff. I've lost my chopping board. I've lost my marbles. We have got our brownie, which I love just gifting just in like a cellophane bag. I did collect some of them from, I got them from Woolies, I think, last week. That's some cute little Easter bags that we can use for our fudge or our brownie or our rocky road. So yeah, like I said, for this fudge I use some caramel eggs and some Cadbury mini eggs as well. Yeah, you could put these in a little little gift bag or perhaps in a little tray like the one I put the carrot cake in. You could put a combination of slices. You could do some brownies, some fudge, and some rocky road perhaps. Lots of options. Oh my guys, has this been helpful tonight? Have you got some new ideas for Easter? Some things that you might try? Cutting them all up for you. There are our fudge. I'll move that out of there so I can have more room again. And last but not least, we've got our Rocky Road. And this is the one the kids and I prepared earlier. So we did exactly the same as we did ourselves, but then we topped it with some more mini eggs and some cute little Easter sprinkles too. And then I just used a loaf tray. I might not Rocky Road. Right. Those Easter eggs. We've got some, I did put some caramel Easter eggs in this one too, I forgot. The marshmallows, the mini eggs, all of the beautiful sweets in there. So that is it. And like I said, we've got those eggs that I'll pop on my socials tomorrow as well so you can see them when they come out of there. So we've been busy tonight. We've got lots of sweets to gift this Easter. Can't see them all on the camera. But we have obviously our carrot cakes with our cream cheese icing. We've got the bigger carrot cake as well. We've got our fudge, caramel fudge with our Easter eggs. We've got our chocolate brownie with our Easter eggs. We've got our loaded eggs with our chocolate brownie and our Rocky Road. And we've got our Rocky Road. So I think that's lots of ideas, hopefully, that will help you this Easter. Let me know in the chat box if you're going to try any of them in particular. And if you do, please send me a photo or let me know. I love seeing you guys trying the things that we have been cooking together. Like I said, I hope it's been helpful. And hopefully I'll see you at another virtual again soon. So thank you so much for joining me. Next week we're doing some grazing ideas for Easter for the long weekend. If you're camping, like you can use it for anything. So we'd love to see you there. And if you want to, you can bring along a friend or two as well. We have a great host reward offer at the moment where you can pick up one of our Thermo service for free just for having 2 or more guests come along. So if that is something you're interested in, please let me know. I'd love to help you with that. But otherwise, thank you so much. No worries, Alice. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope it's been helpful and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.